عبد الله
خلاص تعال منا تعال حبيبي ليش فيها بسيطة بسيطة.
What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of The Good Faith Show. I'm your host, Andre Morton, and The Good Faith Show is only on the ATP Network. You can catch the ATP Network on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and Rumble. And also, two guys, before I get started, because I got a good bit of stuff to talk about. Follow the ATP Network crew on the bottom of your ticker right there. All our usernames right there. Follow us. Very base people, and also to follow me on Red Note. I'm still on there. I know a lot of my American comrades have left Red Note. But TikTok is back, and apparently TikTok might get bought by another fucking company, which sucks. But follow me on Red Note. Andre X 2024. 24. And also to like the video. It's free. It don't cost you nothing. Yeah, man, working over here, man. Yesterday I took a day off because I'm just tired. And I went out of town yesterday too, so, yeah. So anyway, the video you just saw there, I'm gonna share my screen again, is obviously I know the news that Israel resumed the genocide, the ethnic cleansing, whatever you call it. But this video right here touched me right here, man. It says injured, trembling, cold, fasting, cause it's Ramadan, fucking Benjamin Netanyahu, obviously, right? Ramadan, it's a Muslim tradition, fasting and stuff like that. If you didn't know, of course, and then while they would sleep, some of them said all hell broke loose. And it's a good girl right here. It says suffering from a year and a half war and looking at the doctor treating her without crying. Isn't this child legend? Yeah. There's a lot of people like her. But I'm gonna play it again for a few minutes. That poor little girl had to go through that. 17 months of this, man. And you say to yourself, when will this shit end, bro? When will it end? It's just, my mama kind of say, it's getting to be a little bit too much. And people say ceasefire, that really wasn't a ceasefire from the jump. It was basically a fucking, a diet version of a ceasefire. Israel still blocked aid to Gaza during that 6-8 weeks or something like that. I forgot how long it was supposed to be. But I'm finna show y'all another video too as well. Sorry if I'm not all that energetic. It's just one of them days. From this, it's just one of them days you go through stuff. This is from the FBI director, Kash Patel. Oh God, I hate these people, man. I really do. I hate these fucking people. I'm gonna play it.
Off the machinery that feeds money into Iran. We will no longer have 100 hostages still in captivity, Israeli and American and otherwise, by Hamas. We need America to wake up and prioritize Israel.
Prioritize Israel. You idiot. What in the hell you been under these past 17 months, bro? Do you know how much money we gave Israel, bro? And then Trump turned around and gave another $7 billion to Israel. So what in the fuck are you talking about? America needs to wake up and prioritize Israel. Bro, dude. The people are not. Most of the people are in the street protesting or talking about it online like this. And it's like an independent media sphere because, corporate media is not going to talk about it. And then if you, Mehdi Hassan or Joy Reid, even though her criticism of Israel is mid, you get kicked off of corporate media. So yeah, prioritize Israel. I think the weapons and money to Israel is prioritizing them because of AIPAC. Stupid ass.
Israel. We need to bring home Americans and end this war. Bring home
Bro, we're supposed to have a ceasefire. Like phase 2 of the quote unquote ceasefire was supposed to like start the negotiations to end this not war, this genocide. Like I hate when people say war. It's not a war. It's a genocide. Like Hamas is not a government structure. Like a war is fighting between two developed countries. Like Gaza is not a developed country. It's just the little piece of Palestine due to Israel's occupation. Like that's why we say Israel's an apartheid state, because it's not real. Like Israel's not real. It's fake. Then they use the Bible and stuff because of it. Like so America, like even though they didn't ask me shit, but my tax dollars is going towards Israel, right? Even though I don't want it to, I'd rather go towards my comrade that's drowning, right now, that's going through something, or a homeless person in the street that's that froze to death during the winter. Like I'd rather my money goes towards them, but towards this apartheid state that's killing and harming innocent women and children. Like fuck them. Like and also too, and I hate when they say this, bring home the hostages. Oh God. Oh God. Bring home the hostages. It was never about the hostages. Like my thing is, if it was about the hostages, then why are you fucking why the fuck you bumming bumming everywhere in sight, bumming schools, bumming hospitals, bumming people in tents, bumming mosques. Like my thing is, if hostages have been held in captivity, even though Israel killed their own hostages too, Hamas said it, and I believe it. I really do believe that Israel killed their own hostages, even though, the fucking Looney Tunes in our media saying, "Oh, Hamas killed that woman." I forgot Bilbus. Yeah, Bilbus. Who killed Bilbus and all that shit? Oh my God. I just can't, man. Can't.
Israelis and make sure we stand by our number one ally in Israel.
Oh God, yeah. The only reason why Israel is so prioritized here in America is because of AIPAC, which is a foreign agent, which should be listed as a foreign agent. Like literally, our foreign agent controls our government. Like it controls Trump, it controls our Congress people. Like I say, about goddamn 80% of our Congress is bought by AIPAC. So yeah, like prioritize it. That's bullshit. I think he's talking about the people that knows that Israel is a apartheid state and full of shit. I think that's who he's talking to. Cause I was gonna say, like, he's talking to people that are already on Israel's side, like, i.e., our government. So, yeah, man, I just had to show y'all that. Yeah, man, I just see shit like that, Yeah, like the saying said, cream's my fucking corn. Oh God, and I gotta show you one more thing. This is kind of good, I guess. Shout out to my I like her, Ariana Jasmine. Yeah, this is interesting. Let's see. Whoa, I gotta cut that music off. Yeah, y'all read it. Damn, I hope YouTube don't knock this. I just played a second of it though. Yeah, so it's saying that basically judges is blocking everything. That last part right there. Let me go back to it. Hold on. It says another judge blocked Trump's request to dismiss Mahmoud Khalil's lawsuit. So that's good news. Yeah, I had to take that music off because you know how YouTube is, man. So yeah, that's that. So yeah, man. Oh boy, it's about to be an interesting show. And again, if you have not done so already, I recommend you do. Like the video. It helps us out in the algorithm. It don't cost you a damn thing. Oh man. So, all right, guys. Let me get to the first story. All right, guys. So, this here is from Reuters. It says Israel consulted U.S. on its strikes in Gaza. White House told Fox News. So, surprise, surprise. Basically, what happened was, long story short, is that Donald Trump now has blood on his hands. Yeah, we gave Biden shit for it, rightfully so. We gave Kamala shit for it too. But yeah, now Trump has blood on his hands. So I'm finna read this article. It ain't gonna be that long. Let me see. Give me a sec. It says, damn, I gotta make this bigger, small as hell. Holy hell. There you go. Hope that's better. It says the administration of President Donald Trump was consulted on Monday by Israel on its deadly strikes in Gaza. A White House spokesperson told Fox News Hannity show. The Trump administration and the White House were consulted by the Israelis on their attacks in Gaza tonight. White House Press Secretary Karen Levitt said in a Fox News interview. It says the Palestinian medics in Gaza reported dozens of people were killed in the aftermath of a series of most violent air strikes by Israel on the Palestinian enclave since the ceasefire was reached on January 19th between Israel and Hamas militants. It says, hold on, go up, man. A senior Hamas official said Israel had unilaterally overturned the ceasefire agreement. See, right there. Like, see what I'm saying? Like, but I'm pretty sure some of these idiots that that are pro-Israel will say, Hamas broke it. See what happened was, Hamas didn't return all the hostages. Hamas complied to all the ceasefire demands. Like Hamas did what they supposed to do. They returned all the hostages. And the only reason why bitch ass Benjamin Netanyahu went along with it in the first place is uh, because he received so much pressure from the hostages' families to release them. Like I get they say, like, what the hell are you doing? Like that's why. So yeah, just again, like I had to keep saying this, it was never about the hostages. Let me continue. As President Trump made it clear, Hamas, the Houthis, Iran, and all those who seek to terrorize not just Israel but also the United States of America will see a price to pay. All hell will break loose. So this asshole is just repeating what Donald Trump told her. She said Trump had previously issued a warning using similar words, saying Hamas should release all hostages in Gaza or all hell break out. The latest bloodshed in the decades-old Israeli-Palestinian conflict was triggered on October 7th, 2023, when Palestinian Hamas militants attacked Israel, killing. Oh God, I can't even read that. See, why they always gotta bring that up? Yeah, it happened, but now you look at the present and you see that more Palestinians are get killed. 1,200, which they said that number is conflicted anyway, versus shit, gotta be 200,000 at this point. It says Israel's subsequent military assault on Gaza has killed over 48,000 Palestinians, a major undercount, according to the local health ministry, also triggering accusations of genocide and war crimes. Accusations? It is genocide and war crimes. If you call it war crimes, what the hell are they talking about? Genocide and war accusations of genocide and war crimes. Man, get the hell up out of here. That Israel denies. Of course they gonna deny it. Like it's like a stabber stab somebody, then somebody asks, "Hey, did you stab them?" No, I ain't stab him. Even though he got a knife full of blood on that motherfucker. Like that's Israel for you. It says Trump has also condemned over his plan to displace Palestinian. Trump has also been condemned over his plan to displace Palestinians from Gaza and for the U.S. to take over the enclave. Rights groups, the UN, Palestinians, and Arab states have said Trump's proposal, which he has put across as a redevelopment plan, would amount to ethnic cleansing. That's what Trump wants to do. It said Washington separately launched a new wave of airstrikes on Saturday in Yemen, which said it, huh? Dozens of members of the Houthi movement were left dead. The Houthi said at least 53 people were killed. Reuters did not independently verify those casualties. So, yeah. So you got a genocide that's happening in Gaza. Well, that's restarted. Trump wants to do an ethnic cleansing there. But then Trump attacking Yemen. So, yeah, it's a lot to digest. Uh, I'm gonna continue reading a little bit more. I could stop right there, but let me continue. I'll stop right here. It says the Houthis had launched more than 100 attacks targeting shipping from November 2023, saying they were acting in solidarity with Palestinians over Israel's war in Gaza. So that's why they're attacking Yemen, because you know Yemen sees that a genocide is wrong, and the United States, see, if you're not on Israel's side, you're an enemy. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, uh, yeah. Let me get to the next. All right, guys. Before I get to this next story, be sure to like the video. It helps us out in the algorithm, and yeah, just support us, man. Like we very small. We just really started, to be honest with you. So when y'all like the video, which I see y'all be doing on our clips too as well on YouTube, that's why I have clips, so that I know watching these live streams, nobody has time like that. Um, so yeah, like the video, and you like the video, you push me to make more content like this. So this is for Bundle Weiss. It says, why Netanyahu chose to blow up the ceasefire and return to war. Well, obviously, this is an opinion piece in Bundle Weiss, but we obviously know why he chose to end it, because, the reason why he went along with it, because the motherfucker received a lot of pressure from the Israeli family of the hostages. So, um, but he just can't help himself. Netanyahu, he can't help himself. He loved bloodshed. He loved suffering. He loved torture. That's who he is. It says Israel was backed into a corner on the eve of its return to war because Hamas was forcing Netanyahu to honor the ceasefire deal he signed. Confronted with his own internal political challenges, Netanyahu's only choice was to blow up the deal. Political challenges. Oh man. It says Israel announced resuming its military assault on the Gaza Strip early on Tuesday morning. The first wave of strikes killed over 400 Palestinians, including 130 children, and wounded more than 500, according to the Gaza Ministry of Health. The Palestinian Red Crescent Society said that several families were completely wiped out in the assault. The renewed offensive also targeted key figures in Gaza's civil administrative authorities, which is part of a new strategy meant to undermine Hamas' ability to govern in Gaza by targeting not only the military leadership of Hamas, but also its civil leadership, according to inside Israeli source spoke to Haaretz on Tuesday. In a statement, the Gaza Movement Media Office mourned the killing of the coordinator of government action in Gaza, Islam Dallas, the Deputy Minister of Justice, Mohammed Hati, and the Deputy Minister of Interior, and Ahmad Abu. I'm gonna skip his name. I can't pronounce that. And the head of the security service, Bajat Abu Sultan. It says, but what explains Israel's timing of the assault and Netanyahu's decision to return to war amid internal pressure to continue with the ceasefire to secure the release of more Israeli captives. The circumstances surrounding the ongoing ceasefire negotiations last week offer some answers. It says, getting out of a bind. Israel's resumption of the attacks at Gaza come after almost 2 months of the signing of a ceasefire deal by Hamas, brokered by Egypt, Qatar, and the U.S. The offensive also came on the heels of more than a month of failed attempts to move the second phase of the ceasefire deal, which is intended to include talks over the end of the war, genocide, and the beginning of Gaza's reconstruction in exchange of all of the remaining Israeli captives. So yeah, man, like that right there. I'm gonna continue reading, but yeah, they don't want to end this. They want to continue this as long as they can, man, you know, until they want to wipe out a generation of Palestinians. That's the goal. It says for weeks, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Hold on, damn, I keep forgetting to change the name format. Benjamin Netanyahu has been avoiding starting the second phase of the agreement and has continued to push for an extension of the first phase. Um, it says with the objective of releasing the maximum number of Israeli captives while committing to ending the war on Gaza. Then, in early March, Israel closed the Rafah crossing and blocked the entry of all humanitarian aid into Gaza. The impact of the closure was immediate as price of goods tripled across the strip and bakeries went dark, with international organizations like the UNRWA limiting the amount of aid delivered to civilians. So yeah, tired man. The 7 remaining partially functioning hospitals in Gaza issued warnings that they could soon stop working due to the lack of fuel to power their generators. According to the UN, hunger is beginning to loom once again for Gaza's devastated population. So yeah, I mean, yeah, like, yeah, that's the goal. Block all the aid, let the Palestinians starve to death. If they got any like injuries or anything from Israel's airstrikes, you know, hey, it'll shut down all the medical centers too. Well, whatever medical centers they left, because Israel destroying hospitals too. So let me get back to this. It says these Israeli measures, which violated the terms of the ceasefire, were seen as an Israeli attempt to pressure Hamas into making concessions over its conditions regarding the end of the war, namely to relinquish control over the Gaza Strip and back down on its condition of a full Israeli withdrawal from Gaza, especially from the Philadelphia corridor along the Egyptian border. Netanyahu had repeated throughout the first phase of the ceasefire that he would not accept any role to be played by Hamas or the Palestinian Authority in running Gaza after the war. This rendered any post-war discussion with Hamas meaningless. Trump's envoy of the region, Steve Witkoff, also affirmed on February 26 that Hamas continued governance of the Strip as a red line for both Israel and the U.S., even when another special envoy of the U.S. administration, Adam Boehler, whatever the fuck his name is, reported that Hamas was ready to discuss not only relinquishing power but also disarming, a claim Hamas never confirmed, and Israel considered Boehler's direct talks with Hamas representatives unacceptable. That's bullshit. In short, Israel was pulling every trick in the book to try to postpone implementing the ceasefire in all of its phases, but Hamas threw a wrench, and those plans were announced last week. It was willing to release Israeli American captives Eden Alexander and the remains of 4 other deceased Israeli captives in exchange for a clear roadmap for talks of a second phase. So again, man, like, I'm so tired of people calling Hamas a terrorist organization. First of all, Hamas is a militia group. Like, they that things about the Black Panthers, they weren't violent. See, people thought the Black Panther Party were violent. Actually, the Black Panther Party was basically doing mutual aid. I'm not comparing Hamas to Black Panther. I'm just saying, like, same shit. Like, they claim Black Panthers were terrorists and all that stuff. That's why they went after Fred Hampton. Really, the government did. But yeah, like, so Hamas, I mean, to be honest with you, was complying. They were willing to, do the right thing. Like, I definitely agree with it. And yeah, like, hey, we're gonna release all the Israeli captives, even the ones that Israel unalived. I gotta watch what I say on YouTube. God damn. Boy, YouTube will get us off here, man. If I keep bullshitting. But yeah, like, again, like, again though, I ain't laughing, but I'm just saying, man. Like, yeah, Israel never wanted a ceasefire to begin with. You got one because of pressure, and now they're making every excuse. Oh, Hamas, we didn't like our Hamas terms. Fuck out of here, man. So yeah. Shout out to Mundo Weiss, man. They got some great articles. Check it out, MundoWeiss.com. And yeah, so all right, guys, on to the next story. This one is all right, guys. Before I get to this next topic I want to talk about. Oh God, why am I even talking about this? Be sure to give this video a thumbs up, like the video, especially if you're on YouTube and Rumble. Like, it helps us out a lot. And thank you so much to all the people that watch us and stuff like that. I don't think I don't appreciate you. I appreciate all y'all do, man. Just watching it matters. Liking it matters. Like, liking it helps us out a lot. So, Jasmine Crockett, like, y'all know who Jasmine Crockett is. Like, My mom's the same person that told me one day, I think before she had her surgery on her carpal tunnel surgery, she said, Jasmine Crockett remind me of Martin Luther King. I'm like, what? Apparently, my mama, I guess, since mama's a liberal, I guess Facebook pushes out liberal content, and I guess Jasmine Crockett popped up on there. I'm like, yeah, that's just disrespectful. Like Martin Luther King was no Democrat, mama. Don't compare her to Martin Luther King because she says something because she don't like Trump or she says something that's nice. Like like she's cosplaying. Like it's all a script. It's an act. Like Savvy Sav says. Shout out to Savvy Sav for these topics too. She talked about this too. I think last week. So yeah, it's all an act. I ain't tell my mama that because she won't listen. Like one thing with boomers, man, you can't not argue with them when it comes to this. Like they stuck in their own ways or something. But anyway, man, so yeah, Jasmine Crockett, y'all seen her dancing at I think they were going to the State of the Union shit. She was dancing to it, and y'all seen her arguing with Marjorie Taylor Greene and some other woman. Yeah, it's just all an act, bro. Like politics is, especially within the federal government, it's like an act. It's political theater. So this guy right here, um, um, that I'm talking about, his name is Sheldon Daniels. He is a black Republican, and he's running against Jasmine Crockett. Um, and then there's some other shit that I didn't even know about Jasmine Crockett, which is crazy. But yeah, so I'm finna play this video, um, and break it down as I go.
It's called the President of the United States an enemy to this country. Why? Because he did what any strong leader would do. He demanded respect for the office and for the American people. So let's get one thing straight. President Trump didn't kick out Zelensky just to make a scene. He set a precedent. If you come to our house, our White House, you don't show up with demands. You show up.
I have a question for this guy. Well, why didn't Trump use the same energy towards Netanyahu? Was Trump the same guy that pulled out a chair for Netanyahu? Oh, King Netanyahu, I got to slide a chair for you. So yeah, miss me with that shit, bro. Like, come on, bro. Already, man. Like, um, let me continue.
With diplomacy. No more blank checks. No more begging. No more business as usual where Americans.
Whoa. Say I had to call out the bullshit, no matter which side of the political spectrum. See, this is a Republican right here, a black Republican, Nah, dude. Nah, he just gave Israel a blank check not that long ago. Why you call out Ukraine, basically, in this video, but why you not calling out Israel, which is killing brown people? Like, you black, so, I mean, I'm just saying. But I'm pretty sure this is a guy that say all of them are Hamas terrorists. Gotta get rid of all the Hamas terrorists. Like, people like him. Like, yeah. But yeah, let me continue.
Taxpayers foot the bill while foreign leaders call all the shots.
Oh,
the
God.
fact that Jasmine crashed.
But Netanyahu doing that, though. You ain't saying nothing about him, but you said something about Zelensky. I mean, but let me continue.
Out Crockett is more offended by this than she is by billions of our tax dollars disappearing overseas. Tells you everything that you need to know about her priorities. She's not standing up for TX30. She's standing up for that same corrupt globalist agenda that's been draining this country and these people dry. If I were in Congress today, here's what I'd be focused on. Getting answers on where our money is going, demanding accountability, and making sure that American interests.
See, this is when talk is cheap. Like, dude, like, soon as your ass get in that motherfucker, your ass could be bending the knee like that. You gonna have your head down like this. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Like, yeah, you think the Republican Party, like, they just as corrupt as Democrats, is gonna let you have accountability? Oh God, like, I don't know this guy. I just now searched him up. Like the guy that's running against Jasmine Crockett. I'm gonna tell you something. Like, you know, like if you thinking you're gonna go into Congress, thinking like you gonna actually like ask questions and do shit, ask the squad about that. Like LC got down and threatened to lose her seat because she protested Nancy Pelosi's office. So yeah, good luck with that guy. But I know you ain't gonna do shit. You'll be just like the rest of them. And when soon them damn lobbyists come to your office, then you gonna pull out a share for them and say how much can they send me? You gotta have that cash on you. So, oh God, talk is cheap, man. This is what I get out of this. I can say a lot of other things about this guy, call him stuff, but no, I can't do that because if I call him something that's true, then I gotta call Jasmine Crockett, which but I let it continue.
Come first every single time. This is the time for nationalism. Jasmine would rather virtue signal on Twitter than actually do her job. She'd rather go on TV and talk than do her job. So no, our president is not an enemy to
Hell, that's all of them. All of them rather do that.
the country. The real threat is weak leadership, reckless spending, politicians that put foreign governments like Mexico, Canada, Ukraine ahead of the interest of.
See, y'all notice this guy. He didn't say Israel. Notice that, right? He said others. Ukraine. I mean, Canada, Mexico. I mean, what? How we sending money to those countries? But anyway, yeah, yeah, major red flag. you know.
Of the American people. TX30 deserves better. America deserves better. Let's bring some common sense to Washington in 2026. I'm Sheldon Daniels. I'm the candidate who's going to take Jasmine Crockett out of Congress and send her back to the beauty salon where she belongs. Jasmine Crockett
Damn.
is for they, them. Sheldon Daniels is for you.
Wow. Yeah, this guy is he's a homophobe too. But yeah, so that's that. Now let me get to the next one. Give me a second here, guys. So yeah, that's that. So this guy, he gonna run against Jasmine Crockett, I guess. So this is the next one. This is the next story here. I'm finna share my screen in a second. Hold on. Let me see. Hold on, give me a second, guys. Still. Okay. Now I'm finna share my screen again. Sorry if I'm being sloppy. I'm just have no energy today. I don't know why. So this right here is interesting right here too. Now it says Jasmine Crockett received $16,000 in political contributions from an elderly retired couple. And it says Sheldon Daniels, who was running against Jasmine Crockett, went to their house to confirm the contributions, and they had no idea what the charges were. So yeah, so I'm finna play this video. Oh shit. Let me see. Sorry about that, guys. There we go. So yeah, here we go.
All right, guys. So I'm about to go to Randy Best's house, introduce myself, and just ask them straight up if they contributed to Jasmine's campaign, if they contributed that amount, and why they like her so much, because I might be able to learn a little bit of something while I'm up here. I'm way up here in Collin County. I'm in Plano, Texas. Very far from TX30. It's very peculiar that somebody up here would give that much money to a candidate in our district. Maybe they have a special.
This guy, I mean, yeah, but that people give money, that don't live in the district, right? Like these lobbyists, they give these candidates money and they don't live in their district. So yeah, like I had to say that as a side note. I guess he think corruption is corruption.
Connection to the district. Let's go find out. I'm not gonna film them. I'm not gonna put any faces or anything on there. I'm just gonna have my camera down at the ground. I'm gonna be standing in a public, area in open air. I'm just, recording what's going on around me. Um, let's see what happens. All right, here's the house. Here's the house right here. Here we go. How do you do, ma'am?
No soliciting.
I'm not here. I'm not a solicitor. I'm attorney Sheldon Daniels.
Yeah.
Is there a Randy Best who lives here?
That's my
It's just soliciting. Yeah.
husband.
Yeah. I just want to verify. Are you guys aware that you were charged over $16,000 last year? Yeah.
What?
I have a list of charges. I'm just here to verify that you guys know about this.
16,000.
$16,240 in political contributions to a candidate named Jasmine Crockett. Do you remember that at all?
One thing weird about that too is I thought that you can only give a certain amount to a candidate. I thought there were limits to that. Maybe that's PACs. I don't know how this. Well, I kind of know how it worked, but yeah, yeah, like they elderly too. I don't know whether they meant to give $6 or $60 or $600, which $600 like wow, like come on now, but you know, out $16,000 to Jasmine Crockett's campaign. Oh my God, bro. Um, Hell, you think for that amount of money, shit, hell, they get a front seat to our office and shit. Treat them, take them to dinner with that money, shit. But all right, guys, let them continue.
Not. Does your husband remember that at all?
I don't know. He's on the road on his way to Colorado.
Okay. It says here that he's not employed. Is he employed now?
No, we're retired.
Okay. I can leave this with you if you want. It's it's got your information on it.
Yeah, you can just leave it on the table.
Yes, ma'am. You mind if I take a picture?
Go ahead.
All right. Thank you. Okay, guys. So I just drove by the home of this Randy Best guy. This guy, he's a 73-year-old retiree, unemployed. He and his wife, I guess they just travel around in an RV or something. I don't know. But he's on the road. His wife answered the door. She said that they had no idea what these charges were. And they had no idea that they were charged $16,000 or that they are responsible for $16,000 in political contributions to Jasmine Crockett. Yet she has them listed as political contributors. Now, mind you, I'm way up here in Plano. I'm in a totally different county. I'm in Collin County right now. The only reason why I'm even able to do this is because I practice law all over North Texas and I drive all over. So I know North Texas very well, Collin County, Dallas County, Tarrant.
All right, guys. So yeah, so that's allegedly, I mean, maybe they made a mistake, gave her too much money. Maybe they saw her on Facebook like my mama, to be honest with you, and they decided to, hey, I'm gonna donate to her. Get her what, $6 or some shit, like $60 or something like that. Then I guess wait a minute, $16. What I'm talking about? $16 or something like that, and then I guess they typed in too many zeros and said $16,000. Jeez, and then they retired too. Like, bro, when you retire, you're on a fixed income. Um, my thing was about that is whoever like controls the contributions that come in from like I wouldn't say these grassroots donations, but they kind of are like people like just a regular person donating money to a politician. Like my thing is, should you make sure that they validated. Like if it's a lot of money like that, I said anything over $500 or some shit. Like my thing is, I'll make sure like I'll reach out to them some kind of way. Say you meant to give $16,000. Like they took that motherfucking money and God knows what the hell Jasmine Crockett did with it. So yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised. Um, I mean, I'm pretty sure, he's talking like he so yeah, I understand this guy, he's running against Jasmine Crockett, he trying to trying to find something to dig on her. But there's a lot of stuff he could go on, which I'm about to get to in a minute. Um, so yeah, that's that on Twitter. Now I'm finna go to YouTube because yeah. Um, Yeah, like Jasmine Crockett, man. Like she's not what you think she is, man. She's really not. Let me see. Give me a sec, guys. See it. Let me see. Share my screen here. Um, Now this the first time I heard of this YouTube channel. Shout out to Sabby Sabs again. You know how to give her credit. Credit due. She the first one to talk about this in thorough detail. Um, yeah, this is what 3 years ago when they had her on. I think they had her on 3 years ago. Some kind of walkout or something happened at the state capitol of Texas or some shit. And now I'm going to show you how Jasmine Crockett and on politics. Here we go.
They would rather just prevent you from voting in order to keep things the way they are. But we're not going to have that. So without further ado, we are going to welcome in the representative of the 100th district in the Lone Star State, Jasmine Crockett. Welcome to Generation Change.
Hi, guys. How are y'all?
Hi, it's so nice to meet you. I was just watching you on the show yesterday or 2 days ago, and I texted him like, we got to get this girl. We got to get her on the show. And then I'm like, oh, she'll never respond. So then I called my friend Ina Minhares.
Yes.
And I'm like, okay, I could probably get Ina to come on. But then I knew that you were sort of leading this thing. So, and then you responded. I was so excited. It's so nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you too. I apologize. We literally are just leaving a dinner with a congresswoman. And so I'm on a bus.
No, it's all good.
But I make sure I keep my headphones ready and my phone ready so that I can do whatever interviews I need to do. So thanks so much for doing this, you guys.
Now, notice the way she talked, guys. So how she talked that uppity, high-end voice, the uppity voice. Like I noticed that by hearing the way she talked. Like, yeah, the same Jasmine Crockett that y'all see that, she rough dog, like the person my mama think that Jasmine Crockett is, she's not that person. But so I played that little bit of spell right there. Now let me get to the next one. Sabby Sab, shout out to her. She gonna break down. She gonna expose who Jasmine Crockett really is. So here we go, guys. Let me let her cook. Let her cook.
It's to convince the voters that they're going to do something for you because they look like you, but they're not. They are bought and paid for. And I don't see Hakeem Jeffries trying to push for any type of fight to improve the Democratic Party. He'll push back against the Republican Party. But when it comes to like the working class people and the minimum wage, all of these things that people need just to make a basic living here in the United States, that's not what they're paid to do.
I think you nailed it. They're bought and paid for. That's the end. That's really the end of the day. What matters, they're bought and paid for. I am sad about the Jasmine Crockett thing because I remember when she was in this Texas legislature and led that walkout, and we actually had her on the show for doing that. She led a walkout of the Texas legislature so that they didn't have enough people to pass this anti-choice legislation, and it was a badass move. So I'm like, all right, cool, let's get her on the show. We had her on the show, and I found her so inspired, from that. And then when she got into Congress, I felt like, I'm like, cool, like that's really cool.
And then she came on. Then she came on again when she was in
Came
Congress.
on again, and again, she's been nice to me. She's been good to me, but it's been very disappointing to watch the trajectory from someone who led a walkout.
Yeah, I mean, listen. Just like AOC, remember she went on independent media. You know, she did her rounds. She went on Glenn Greenwald show, Jimmy Dore and other people. Then you notice once she got her foot inside that door on Capitol Hill, she went away from, as they say, talking to people like them. See, like people use you for gain. Like, yeah, they use you. Like, hey, to build up their portfolio. I guess people say, yeah, we go on the small channels and we spread our word out because we actually want to help people. Then a lot of these motherfuckers say they want to help people, then they become career politicians and don't give a shit about independent media anymore, unless you lick their boots, like i.e. Sam Cedar does. That's why he have AOC on there. Like he licks AOC's boots. He shine her shoes. So, and a lot of independent media like us and Savvy like we ain't doing that shit. Like we'll call your ass out. All right, so let's get back to it, man. Like, I mean, hey, if I was there, I told you so. Like, hey, that's what they do.
Albeit on an issue that's easy to get behind. I mean, but that was the issue. But that was pretty ballsy thing to do. They let down and risk getting. I mean, it was ballsy. So I don't know. I find her like very disappointing.
And much like Alex, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
I tried to reach out to Jasmine not too long ago, and just kind of be like, hey, would you be willing to come back on the show?
Well, yeah. It always happens that way.
That's what happens because they cannot be confronted with the reality of what the problem is. The problem is our failed political and economic system. That's what it is. And they cannot be confronted with that because they immensely benefit from it.
For anyone struggling with earringing, do not drink.
Just like Alex is in a situation where if they simply play their cards right, they've got that seat for 30 years. Like they don't have to do anything. They just kind of have to.
It's all a game. Yeah, see, you pretend like you really care and you want to help people, then, you heard what he said. Like, he reached out to her people, a team or whatever, say, hey, you want to come back on? And crickets. Like, that's what they do. I mean, let me let it continue.
Mug it up for the cameras, if you will. Kind of like how Senator Murphy, who was trying to see if he could find his lane in the progressive area, that didn't work out too well too quickly. They've got all the smoke for Trump, but they had none of it for Biden, especially when it came to Palestine. And so when this happens, and I'm sure you're very familiar with our...
Exactly. Like now, since, Trump is got blood on his hands, now some of them will come out and say, hey, what Trump doing ain't right. He's massacring innocent women and children. When to us, we've been telling you fools that your president, Biden, at the time was doing the same thing. Like, oh my God, man. But yeah, let him continue.
Progressive whisperer when it comes to corporate media clips, case study QB. He really does an amazing job of grabbing this relevant stuff. So when somebody like the supposed leader in the House of the Democratic Party says there's nothing we can do, well, if you want to talk about the worst thing that Trump is doing in his administration on the domestic side, we know on the foreign policy side, it's clearly Palestine. But on the domestic side, it's what he's doing with the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. And of course, he's going to gut that to shreds. So this is what's going on.
The Trump administration shutting down the country's top consumer watchdog, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, basically just closing it. Every worker there was ordered to stay home. CNN's Vanessa Yurkevich is with us now with the latest here. What's going on?
So these employees, they get an email saying that they're not going to be showing up to the office, and they're also being instructed not to do any more work as it relates to the Consumer Finance Protection Bureau, which, of course, as we know, is exactly what it sounds like, to protect everyday Americans from financial fraud.
The only good thing that came out of the Biden administration was the improvements of the NLRB. And And so we listen to us, and they shouldn't. The reality, because between our word,
cutting all these things, and he had this, and then we're doing that, and we're going to get to the military.
would take
Well,
aspect of somebody like motives and the interests of working people.
I think the difference here, you see them doing that, but again, to their money again, they are doing exactly a billionaire president, and then we have a billionaire. We're going to call him co-president.
Ulterior motives and the interests of working people. That's my thought.
Had to skip.
That's right. This is the problem with billionaire money, right? So we have a billionaire president, and then we have a billionaire. We're going to call him co-president, or we call Elon Musk co-president. But it's just the billionaire money again. They are doing exactly what they said they were going to do. They said they were going to go in and cut all the spending under the federal government, and you see them doing that. But again, to your point about the Pentagon, that is something that you probably should have started with. I agree with them cutting the Pentagon budget. But I think the difference here is that this is all out in the open, right? So if the Democratic Party didn't take billionaire money, if they didn't take money from like Bill Gates and like George Soros, et cetera, they could really heavily push back on this and say, well, unlike you, we're the party that does not take billionaire money. But they can't say that because they also take billionaire money. The difference that you're seeing this time around is that this is happening out in the open, and Trump has no filter. So he just says exactly like what's on his mind. He's like, yeah, we're going to do this too. We're doing that or whatever. But I've been trying to explain to people for years that billionaire money is a problem, and that I don't think billionaires should be allowed to run for office. In my opinion, I don't think they should be able to run for president, Congress. That's just my take. But we have no limits or anything against that here. So that's how we end up in this situation. I don't understand. Again, I feel like the Democratic Party, if they were more proactive about the money, because that's what it always leads back to. If they were more proactive about the Wall Street money, the corruption, the military industrial complex, all of these things together, and if they would have made that push towards that, which Bernie was telling people about 2 campaigns in a row, then they really would have a solid leg to stand on. But now it's just kind of like, are you guys going to stop taking billionaire money? No, you're not. So what are you going to do? And I think another thing that has been brought to people's attention is just how much the president can actually do via executive order. And we look back at Biden's presidency, even Obama's presidency, Bill Clinton, et cetera, and we think about all the things that they actually could have done if they wanted to because they were president. So we're seeing here, it's like, it's embarrassing in a sense, because Biden and Kamala, they beat Donald Trump in 2020. And it's almost like they beat him and then they kind of just took a step back. It's like they didn't really take hold of that moment and say, now we're going to show you what we can do for the American people and not the billionaire class.
Exactly. I mean to let it play that long. That's my mistake. But, you heard a lot of good stuff. Yeah. Yeah, man. From Jasmine Crockett to, Trump, no matter who, like, none of these people give a shit about you. That's the point of this. That other dude, he's not going to give a shit about you. He's claiming that he's going to hold, the government accountable for all this money going out to these foreign countries. But, yeah. But, okay. So we done with that. Shout out to Savage Sab. She always does the damn thing. She should be invited on every fucking independent media show out there. So let's go to Jasmine Crockett's Wikipedia page. Yeah, like all the people that they Jasmine Crockett is, she understand black folks. She understand the black woman's struggle, the black folks' culture. Let's go to that Wikipedia page right quick. Like this will tell you everything you need to know. Let me see. So yeah. So she's from. Let me see. Let me go to her life here. She was born in St. Louis. It says she attended Mary Institute in St. Louis Country Day School. And Wazakin, if I'm saying it right. And according to Sabby herself, shout out to her, she said those are boarding schools. Those are not regular public schools. So, yeah. So the Jasmine Crockett that you heard earlier, like that's the real Jasmine Crockett. This Jasmine Crockett, she played the Kendrick Lamar music, dancing to the State of the Union address and all that shit. Like that's fake, bro. That's not real. And And then it says here she attended Rhodes College and she got a lawyer degree and all that stuff. So yeah. So yeah, man, Jasmine Crockett. I'm not surprised she's full of shit. Not surprised. And that couple that allegedly gave her $16,000, like that's wild. Probably a mistake. Well, I hope they look into it. I don't know if they could get their money back. And so yeah. All right, guys, I got one more story. All right, guys, before I get to this last segment, be sure to hit the like button. It helps us out in the algorithm, guys. It does. It helps us out a lot. So, like the video, subscribe to the ATP Network channel on YouTube. If you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe. I mean, what are you doing with your life? We got Liz, aka Ty Peasant. She gonna be on there more in the future. And we got Michael, aka Left Independent. Like he bring great analysis. He's a better talking to me. Like I know I sound weird as fuck. I'm sorry about that. Once they get their feet on their feet and start making more content, you'll see less of me. So when you like that video, when you hit the like button, all that come to fruition. Yeah. Yeah, man, I'm not surprised by this. This is from that Bad Faith podcast. It says Columbia student gets death threats for protesting Gaza genocide. And also, too, y'all, the reason why this person is wearing a mask is because of identity reasons, obviously. So I don't blame this person at all. Because I mean, look what they did to Mahmoud Khalil. So hey, they coming after people with green cards. They could come after my ass because I talk a lot about how fucked up Israel is in unaliving so many women and children. So, all right, I'm finna play this. Here we go.
There are, this is dying down in any kind of way. Do you feel like there has been a difference between the character of the protest before and after Trump's election, as so many liberals have claimed to be the case? What does it look like on your end?
I would still say, so people are still showing up to protests, but I would say a lot of like the international students are scared to show up to protests. And when people show up to protests, they show up in a mask, they show up in a keffiyeh, they try not to show up in ways that could identify them. And that has been used against protesters. They're wearing masks, they're wearing keffiyehs, they don't want to be identified.
I mean, the people that are saying that, obviously that's the point. Like facial recognition, police use drones, and drones could pick up people's faces and it could identify people. So that's why you're told when you go to a protest you're supposed to wear a mask or wear a keffiyeh and stuff like that. Like I don't want to be known. so yeah, and that's another reason too why they have these notorious mask bans in some of these states as well. So let me let her continue.
And it's like, that's Islamophobic, like saying, like making a big deal that people want to cover their hair. If somebody wants to cover their hair, that's their business. And also, like, can you blame people for like wanting to hide their identity when there are such violent consequences in place? Also, I would say a lot of this, like people really, really support Palestine on campus. People really, really care about Palestine. And that's why they're cracking down so hard. And I would say a lot of these actions from Zionists, truthfully, they've backfired because it showed their true character. If you were quote unquote unsafe on campus, why are you following someone around with a camera and saying death threats to them? That's something that's happened to students. They will openly.
Wow. See, you notice that, like. So, that right there should get them kicked off the campus, saying death threats to people, right? I said kicked off of campus, I don't like death threats, like recording people that are pro-Palestine because they have a heart. They have a heart in their chest. See, Zionists don't have a fucking heart, so they don't give a shit. And also, too, these Zionists been harassing these pro-Palestine protesters, too, which, I'm pretty sure they don't go to jail, but, people that support at these pro-Palestine protests, the ones that actually have a heart, like I said, they get jailed. See what I'm saying? All right, guys, back to the video.
Threaten you and follow you around with a camera, but if you say anything back, somehow you are the terrorist, you are the violent person.
See?
And it's really, I think when it comes to Columbia, when it comes to these other schools, I think that when it comes to support for Palestine, we're going to see the effects of this like 10, 15, 20 years from now. That's why they're so focused on Columbia, because Columbia, like it or not, that's where the future policymakers are going to school. That's where the future leaders are going to school. And Zionists think that if they just crack down hard enough, that will get people to stop supporting Palestine. But I would say, if anything, it's done.
Yeah, like the more you push people, the more harder they go. So basically, like she said, yeah, you're making people protest more. You're making a fool out of yourself. Like, see, the crazy thing about history is like these Zionists and all these other pieces of crap that talk that they are evil. Like they gonna be on the wrong side of history. Like Israel's like what you doing is you trying to hurt the people that are doing on the right side of history, but you on the wrong side of history. See what I'm saying? So yeah, that's crazy. See, like she said too. Like I think about that too. Like a Zionist online, for example, could call me out my name, call me the N word, call me ugly, call me fat, call me stupid. They love the R word too. Zionists love the R word. You know. But if I call them a name, I'm the one that could get suspended. I'm the one that could get my account limited for 12 hours. Like, see, shit like that. Like, we obviously know that Twitter/X is, it's a pro-Zionist site. So I mean, I'm not surprised about that. And especially these universities like Columbia and shit like that too. Like, don't they support Israel too? So yeah, that's why all this shit happened.
The exact opposite, because people who traditionally wouldn't be interested in Palestine or concerned with Palestine, they are seeing their friends, they are seeing their family members, they are seeing their classmates brutalized and treated horribly for standing up for what they believe in. And the other thing too is that Colombia has a history of protests. It markets itself as the protest ivy. They make a really big deal about the 1968 protests where students occupied multiple buildings. None of those students were expelled, yet multiple students were expelled for the occupation of Hamilton Hall, renamed as Hintz Hall. One of those students was Jewish. They expelled a Jewish student, the leader of the graduate student union, a Jewish student studying Jewish literature, to get rid of anti-Semitism on campus. And it's like, how does expelling a Jewish student get rid of anti-Semitism? It's disingenuous, and they know it. They know it's disingenuous. But
see, they know that they know that what people are protesting for is not anti-Semitic. They know. They know that it's not anti-Semitic. See, that's a way of them saying that. That's a way of them to detract, you for protesting. So, they anti-Semitic. That's hurting the Jewish population, even though there are Jews that know that genocide is bad. So they are protest. They're using their constitutional right. But yeah, man, let me continue. We ain't got much longer here.
But they can't win the argument on substance or rhetoric. So what they're doing instead is engaging in a brutal crackdown and hoping that will stop the movement. But what happens is that repression backfires. It always does. And I know that even though this is really hard right now, I know that Colombia is going to divest. I know that we're going to see a free Palestine. I know it, because we have so many people who really care about Palestine, who really care about making the world a better place. And I will say that I have been blessed to meet so many wonderful people that I wouldn't meet otherwise, because I've attended a protest, because I've gotten to engage with other Palestinian students on campus. And I feel like in a few years from now, even though like people are villainizing us right now.
So I got a question. All right, so obviously it's Palestinian students on campus too, seeing that that people are getting massacred over there in Gaza. So basically, according to some of these people's rhetoric, that those people are anti-Semitic too. I mean, I'm just saying, are they? I mean, how can you? Let me continue.
Now and demonizing us, I feel like in a few years, Columbia's going to look back and be like, man, what were we doing? What were we thinking?
I hope you're right. I mean, last year.
All right, so I'm gonna end it right there. Y'all can watch it yourself. It's on YouTube. It's just like a 26-minute clip. Yeah. So yeah. Yeah. I really do hope that these universities divest from Israel like they should. I mean, I mean, yeah, like she said towards the end, like, yeah, Columbia and these other universities need to look back and saying like, damn, we gave these kids a hard time. We allowed the cops to brutalize these kids, and these college kids weren't even doing nothing malicious. They're just doing their constitutional right. Like, you get brutalized for using your constitutional right. Now, they had pro Israel protests. I'm pretty sure cops weren't brutalizing them. So, yeah. So, all right, guys, that's the show. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Sorry if I didn't bring much energy. Just kind of low energy today, but I'll be all right. Shameless plugs again. On the bottom. Follow us. Follow ATP Network Crew, and also to follow me on Red Note, Andre X24. I'm on Red Note, and also to like the video. It's free and don't cost you a motherfucking thing, sucker. So yeah, like the video, follow us on Twitter, subscribe to us on YouTube and Rumble as well. Twitch, we're on Twitch. One person watched that video on Twitch a day, so hopefully we get on Rockfin, I'll just remove Twitch from the lineup. It just be, YouTube, Twitch, Rumble, and Rockfin. So not Twitch. Y'all know what I'm talking about, Jesus. So all right, guys. Thank you so much for watching the Good Faith Show on the ATP Network. I'm Andre Morton signing out. And yeah, especially I need to say this before I go. Fuck Benjamin Netanyahu. Have a good one.